Hello and welcome back. We are playing Victoria 3 here. We are playing as Armenia. Last episode, I believe we took some dirt from the Ottoman Empire. Maybe that was the previous episode. And we've mainly been focused on getting ready to be separate from the Russian market. So this means trying to make our own economy more balanced. Our economy is now larger than theirs, but we are a protectorate of them. We do kind of follow their economy a little bit, or they follow ours at this point, but we are part of their economy, but we have way higher standard of living, and so we're kind of okay with this situation right now. As a protectorate, we don't pay any money to them, and this forces us to be inside their market. We're kind of happy to just siphon off population from them, because while we have a bigger GDP than them and a higher standard of living, they do have a whole lot more pops than we do, and we've been siphoning them off this entire time, and we like sucking off their pops. So, we will continue on that way, speak of the devil, and try and get ready to be ejected. As a part of larger type of thing that we're focused on is we are trying to get 5 interest groups to 18% powerful and be happy with us all at the same time. This is kind of the objective of this run. This is like a bit of an oblique objective. You know, we're not going for an achievement, we're not going for world conquest, so this is kind of just our own special little thing. And I think we were planning on starting a war with Argentina, but then we cannot right now because, yeah, we're cordial. But we are damaging relations. Oh, they're improving relations. Darn. Okay, well, so be it. We are looking for a good war, though. That is kind of useful. But it's really not essential to the run that we expand as, like, min-maxy as possible, I suppose. It would be nice to get one of these targets up in here. We do not have an adjacency to some of these. Getting, you know, snaking our way into the Congo would be nice. Can we declare war on them? So what's the diplomacy situation? They have a defensive pact with Portugal. I don't think that that would stop us. The problem is I don't know if our navy's big enough to land Congo. And I think Portugal might have a bigger navy than us. So let's take a quick look. They don't have a bigger navy than us. They have navy power projection of 40 and we have 100. With our 5 little boats. Why don't we also just expand that a little bit? Just another 5, kicking it into the queue, and then let's try and get the Congo so we can start getting into some of these lands in order to get rubber, because we would love to be able to turn on the PMs, but we can't. So let's just conquer them. Assuming we won't hit over 25 infamy. Wait. I see. I understand now why we didn't start this war with the Congo last episode. Russia will join. And we can't fight Russia. If we take a look, despite our economy being larger than theirs, they can field a much larger army than we can for much cheaper. They have projection of 2,300, and we only have 1K. The reason for this is our standard of living is higher, which means that the wages we have to pay our troops is going to be a lot higher. So, we get political agitation, though. And I am fine with them going feminist. A worthy cause. We don't necessarily want them to gain a ton of clout because they are in the government, so we can't suppress them. We are going to have to boost the Industrialists. They have dipped below 18%, so we will stop. Well, actually, us suppressing the armed forces will boost the Industrialists. And we do not quite get enough authority. We wish we just had 5 more authority. That way we could take off a consumption tax and bolster the Industrialists, but unfortunately we can't. But what we can do is we can up Social Security, which decreases political strengths when receiving welfare. The group that's not going to be receiving welfare is going to be, you know... I think this will take away from the cloud of the trade unions and bring balance to the force. So let's do that. And then we have to look into laws. I think what we are trying to do here, if I'm not mistaken, is our plan was to go for electric railways kind of quickly. We're going to go through pump jacks first. Now you want to research all the tier 3 tech before going for tier 4 tech if you're trying to be as efficient as possible. And the reason for this is there is a malice on researching the next tier of tech while you still have ones to research below it. We could also now outlaw dissent, but we are still trying to get through Parliamentary Republic before we do that. And we also have the feminist reforms to do, so let's check our legitimacy. We're fairly legitimate. We should be very legitimate once we get representative democracy, or a parliamentary republic, rather. And I think that one of the reasons... So we have been having a hard time getting people to migrate to employ. Just a little bit of a hard time. It's actually not that hard of time, but I'm wondering to what degree, you know, this cultural exclusion is playing a factor in this, because this is making it harder for people to migrate to our country. And so this is the downside of going this route, but we want to do this so that we just kind of want to play around with going up to national supremacy. I don't think we do ethno-state, because I think we can still convert pops from national supremacy, but I don't think we can convert pops when we're living in an ethno-state. My understanding of reading the rules. I don't want them to lose approval. I suppose we have a lot of approval to work with right now, and it's only for 5 years, so let's just do this. This will make us a little bit more legitimate in the short term. In fact, if we get one more contested government, or sorry, if we get one more collective clout here, then what we will be able to do... Here, I'm going to stop suppressing, and I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to suppress... And something I should have been... Oop, not that. We're going to bolster you back up to above 18. And something I should have done a long time ago, given the way I'm playing this run, is change my outliner to include all the interest groups. So now you can kind of... I can't scroll. Like, I think my camera blocks it. I think you see the bottom of it here. But this is a nice little change that we can make that is going to help us keep an eye on which interest groups have how much power in this sort of thing. We will have to put more stuff up at the top at some point so we can scroll this to a more viewable spot. Actually, let's check our OBS here and see if it's somewhat viewable. It is somewhat viewable. It's cutting off the trade unionists and the Intelligentsia, and the Industrialists, the two largest clout members, but you can see that we're getting close to being at 18% with all of them, which is the name of the game. Or at least for this run, it's the name of the game, but trade unions are kind of going a little bit wild, so I do think that, you know, increasing this social security will help to blunt them a little bit. We are deficit spending, that is part of the plan. We're doing this so we can construct more. Currently trying to get the tools up to a higher tier. I guess we can do the same with engines as well, because the increased throughput bonus would help. Yeah, I think this is lying to me because it is based on full employment, which it can't receive, but we can do a little bit of that action. And why don't we build motor industries here as well, and just build a couple. So we have a shortage, but the shortage is not resolving itself in terms of labor, or very, very expensive engines, which are making electricity untenable as well. We could turn off the electricity PMs, but we really just want these to start employing, and they will employ when the electricity is really expensive, but the problem is motors are also really expensive, and wages are also really expensive, so kind of this triple thing, you know, but the more expensive wages are, the more migration we get. It should be forcing itself to balance out, it's just doing it a little bit slower than I would like, which is one of the reasons why we built all these over here, and these are actually employing quite a bit, so, you know, I was hoping that this would resolve the issue immediately. Looks like it's helping. Still running too big a net negative balance, but it is not so catastrophic that all the PMs are just, like, way worse. Still looking for a little bit of a good war for us to start. We, of course, do have a good amount of infamy anyways, so, like, it's not hyper necessary. We could start a war with the Ottomans, I believe. But then we are concerned that one of these groups joins. Now, Russia is feeling pretty nice towards us right now. What is this? A defensive pact with the US? I think we'll pass. Well, it's not terrible. I have generally shunned the AI's alliances and such because generally they have not been very good for me. Our dies from Qing is not profitable anymore. We'll take that back. They want to take on our national debt in exchange for an obligation. How much debt is this? We're kind of okay with this. It's not like they can pull us into a market or this sort of thing. And what this will do is they'll be able to force us into a defensive pact. But we were on the fence about the defensive pact anyways, so we'll just accept this. It's free money. And we can continue to deficit spend to our heart's content. We will try and get women's suffrage. This will give us more workplace contribution. Or not workplace. I forget the word. It's not contribution. I mean, we could just take a look at what it is. Workforce ratio. Which we give up the expensive birth rate, but to be honest, most of our population growth is from migrants, not from births, so women's suffrage is kind of the direction we want to go, and a ton of people really like it. And it just radicalizes groups we don't care about. Yeah, Russia is really kind of not doing what we want them to be doing in regards to the colonization. We also got cut off by Great Britain here, which is a little bit of a big sag. Which is why we wanted to go to war with Congo, to like snake our way in. I suppose we could go after Benin or something instead. Let's see about declaring an interest somewhere. We could like puppet Venezuela. I don't hate that. Let's try and because there's a lot of oil there as well as wood. So good on the nat resources. Kind of still looking for this war. A little afraid of like what we get ourselves into here. Don't want to fight. Well, how powerful is the Dutch East Indies? I think we could take the Dutch East Indies pretty comfortably, actually. So maybe we do go after Kutai. Because they will have a good amount of oil here. And we can take Kutai, Siam, and the Dutch East Indies, I think. And we will, at the same time, we will immediately swap over PMs. Alright, wait, where are the extra guys? Yeah, we don't want you. And then we will swap over to monitors here. And we will pause. And we will put this guy, we will mobilize this guy immediately because we want him to have time to get to the front. We're running a huge deficit, but this is okay. It's helped stimulating the economy. We are also built to deficit spend right now. We are built like a unit. Just taking a quick look at all this stuff. Industrialists are coming back up. I'm certain after this passes, they'll be in relatively good shape, but we will have to pay more for welfare payments, which already are, you know, they're not nothing, but I think they're well enough in check. I suppose we could increase workplace safety a little bit, and, well, actually, let's do a health system up a little bit instead. Not looking to expand these too quickly. Russia is really on the world stage in regards to colonization. They are all the way down here. If we look at the Russian market, it is... Ooh! Egypt broke free. That's a new development. That must be the cause of the dip in our economy, and Russia's economy must be a consequence of Egypt getting out. So we could actually even probably fight Egypt, and that would be a reasonable war. Now what happened here? Austria joined against them. And they want war reps. I mean... Well, we could sway Austria off by opening the market. Let's try and do that. No, please swap from antagonistic. They were having problems. Let's improve relations. Would be more than happy. We get asylum mistreatment, or we get that. Oh, we're paying for it. Yeah, we'll just take the negative approval. We don't really care about them. They're a super marginalized group. Oh, they're not super marginalized. I forgot. Because our leader is, you know, part of the Oriental Orthodox Church. All right, Austria sides with us now, so almost certainly they will back down here. But we can add in some Morgels, and we won't have to open the Siamese market anyways. We can go for war reps off Siam if somehow this war pops off. This will be something that's useful for us. We don't want to enforce a regime change. Wow, Siam, what happened to you? You got messed up, my brother. And let's play a little bit of whack-a-mole. It is nice to be doing this on such a small country. We'll do some there because we'll eventually need them. And I think that as a general heuristic on the coast, we maybe want to try and start turning on ports. And building ports instead of expanding other stuff, but who knows. Like here we can turn on the ports instead. Gotta exit the lens. Why is it bringing up that screen? Oh, because I'm clicking Russia. Not my thing. So we could go industrial port and then expand some of this. And same here. Hemorrhaging ton of money here. Now 50k is in interest and 20k is in welfare. A lot on government wages. We maybe want the standard of living to come down here. So what we can do is we can increase taxes. Let's see if that'll drop us a legitimacy tier. It won't. But we could lower taxes to raise ourselves a legitimacy tier. Ooh, the Liberal Party's now... We want to get these guys above 18%. So we're going to stop suppressing them and start bolstering them. A big part of this is the trade unions are starting to get really out of control strong, which is one reason why this is going to be good. Alright. Now Clout is going to calculate a little bit. I think there's going to be some changes. Alright, and you saw instantly it kicked these guys into marginalized because they're too small, so now we don't have to deal with the malice. And so we want to keep the landowners and the church in here and then try and boost the rural folk out of it eventually. And then keep the armed forces above 5% is going to be the goal. So everything's going to be really, really tight in terms of how we want the authority, but now we are running this deficit. So what we will do is we will increase taxes and we will get rid of some of the consumption taxes. And now, we are legitimate government because we have swapped over. And also, I think we should be able to... So we're going to do... Women can vote. But could we put this even in? No, we can't. So we're going to have to, at some point, reform the government a little bit to get the petite bourgeoisie in, because we do want to go up the ladder here. But for now... We really want to stay on wealth voting, because otherwise our industrialists are going to get overrun in terms of clout. But we can go women's suffrage, which everyone will love, and so we'll have high approval on all of our interest groups. Plus 20, plus 20, plus 20, plus 8, plus 6. And the Social Security investment increases level, so we should be paying a lot more in welfare. How much unemployed people do we have? 50k, and then 500,000 peasants. Where are all these peasants? I think they're in the new territories, right? 89,000. Why do we still have peasants in these places? Except for Armenia, right? They should migrate out of Armenia into the other places, but I guess we'll try and focus on industries not in Armenia for now. Like, why aren't you migrating to do these jobs? They pay so much. Why aren't you coming out of the subsistence farms? You know what we could do is we could try and depress the price of some of these goods to make the subsistence wage lower, right? Maybe that's why this is having a bit of a problem, because I think that as far as our economy goes, and this is like a large part Russia economy, grain is like way more expensive than it normally is. Where is grain here? I know we have grain in the economy. I mean, we can sort by, yeah, there we go. So we can import it from the Qing. A little bit. And then we can make it ourselves as well. We are building up the grain. Here's our grain specialist territory. So how much... We can build at least another 10, like close to 15-ish. So why don't we do that? And we probably want another area here to specialize in grain. So it seems this one seems fine. So what we'll do is we'll up... now, why aren't you employing, though? Expecting them to back down here. Oh, they're only minus 54 because of loyalists and gold reserves. So they probably back down, but they might not. Either way, this will be a nice pickup. It's pretty hard to imagine a scenario where we can't win that war. Our literacy is going down because we're incorporating that. We actually get the war. Which is unfortunate because we have to land Siam. Ooh, one of our generals died. So we're going to try and recruit generals. And we're going to recruit him and then fire him. We're going to recruit this guy over here. And we're going to recruit this guy here. And then we are going to fire. We're going to promote this guy again. And then we're going to fire Mr. Landowner guy. And then we are going to take a look at our interest group approval rating. In a place where you guys can also look at it. Yeah, we got to keep this above 20 because we want... Well, we want this bonus, but we also want this bonus. But we don't have it right now, so it's not the worst, I suppose. Really need to get more authority. Let's just click electrical. Yeah, we want electrical capacitors next. We do want just a smidge more authority. If I recall correctly, would be pretty good. Why don't we decrease some of the government wages a little bit? Because we are paying quite a lot for this. And we are running a deficit that is slightly... that I'm slightly uncomfortable with. And we don't need the authority right now. So I'm just going to decrease those a smidge, which is going to throttle this uptick a little bit. It also, unfortunately, is going to weaken the Intelligentsia and the and the petite bourgeoisie, which we are trying to empower. Really, the trade unions are running away with it in terms of the clout. Yeah. Because they got a ton of votes. A little bit unfortunate. Now, which one is in the Caucasus? We'll mobilize you. We're going to stick you on this front because we will need to land Siam. And once you get there, we'll switch the other general over to landing. Unless... Yeah, we don't have allies here yet, so... Gotta do it like that. And why don't we turn on your... We're paying for a bunch of convoys for Russia right now, which is kind of not good, unless we're getting independence from them on a soonish basis. I mean, we could start the war with the Congo, and just hope that another great power joins us. That seems like something... I mean, I can save scum it if it doesn't go our way, but we kind of don't want... Ooh, the Intelligentsia are back up to 18%. That's nice. Trying to get the Industrialists back over that. A little bit tough. Don't know why they keep swapping off to the side. We will need to increase our government administrations. The Intelligentsia is going to get weakened a lot once these pop off, so why don't we do some of that, which is going to help our research speed and our literacy. Why don't we just build a level 1 everywhere else too? Now, are we here yet with our other group? We got another 15 days. After this, we can just push with those, and we can land on Siam with the other group. Why don't we just mobilize these guys and put them in here as well? Oh, we should have landed with the small group, Siam. Well, now that we almost have it through, we're just going to land with the big one. Oh, we can't. Whatever. Because they're not the one having the battle on the front. Oh, alright. We misplayed that. Poo-poo on us. And Austria is having the problems again. Saw a ton of shortages here. What is the shortage in? Tools. Does this mean it's finally happened? No, we're still in the Russian market, but somehow we have a tools shortage. Were you importing tools from Austria, you silly goose? I mean, I guess we expand this to 50, right? That's a bit unfortunate. We could turn off a bunch of tool PMs, but we kind of don't want to... Just from a playability perspective, we don't want to turn them off just to turn them back on again in 16 weeks when we start getting the tooling workshops finishing. Ooh, I forgot that we've got the tech for this. So let's start turning on the irrigation. Which, of course, is going to make the already expensive engines more expensive, but... so be it. We get women's suffrage. Fantastic. It says it's not profitable, but it will be eventually. So now everyone's real happy with us, except for the petite bourgeoisie. We don't want to go workers' protections. We do want to go outlawed dissent. We gotta get, I mean, so... No, we don't want them to have that. Militarized police, we don't necessarily hate the idea of. Considering we're going to discriminate more. But we cannot quite get... I think we just sit tight for now and just accrue some loyalists here. We do want to... Would this be legit? No. We need this Free Trade Party bloc to get more powerful than the Social Democratic Party, is I think what needs to happen, so... We will stop boosting the Intelligentsia and start bolstering both members of this Free Trade Party in the hopes that we can get there. How much are we giving him welfare? A little bit more now, and then it came back down. Now, we could increase this even more. I think we have government admins building right now. Thought we could build some oil, so let's do a little bit of that. They get it. Okay, it got discovered in the Truco Coast. Why don't we get everything set up on auto expanding? Make sure we have at least one in everything, and then Auto-expand all the mining operations. And oil. We will swap your PM to tanker cars and make you for profit. Probably need to build quite a few in the Trucal Coast. And a big bonus of us not having them incorporated is we are getting the colonial exploitation, which is just giving us straight up more oil. And so this is why we would not want to incorporate this state. Unfortunately, we got the small guy landing, but it looks like they might be able to get it. We, of course, can white peace out. We don't really care if we make Austria mad. So I think that, you know, once we enforce on Kutai, we will just white peace and tell Austria to kick rocks. Because I think they are losing this. Or if it looks like they're going to win it, we won't. Radical Austria. Who's winning right now? Looks like Radical Austria is winning. And it looks like it's just a 1v1, so we will end this war immediately and not try and get anything. Or, well, we could try and get war reps from Siam, actually. Because we do have that in there, so I guess it's not completely free. But we do get East Borneo here. Probably don't need the government admin. Really don't want to have that level port. But we need infrastructure. Okay, well, you got me. I'm sorry I fired everyone and just created a bunch of radicals for nothing. Really hate how the AI just overbuilds anchorages when it doesn't know what to do. When nothing's profitable, it just builds up anchorages. It's like, it's just terrible. It's like, oh, what do I do here? I'll just build some anchorages, and it's like, it's no good. We do want this to specialize in something eventually, but we don't know what yet. All this is auto-expanding, which is fine. Building up a ton of these. Let's see how we're doing on infrastructure. A little bit low. And of course we just have level 12 ports, so we could turn this on for 90 infrastructure if we wanted. Which is... I mean, I guess we'll use it eventually, and then we just never have to build... Okay. We'll never have to build the railroad. It's like, I wish we could just turn on some of them, or if the AI wouldn't do this. We could just turn on industrial port and delete a bunch of these. There we go, I like that. That way we're not firing anyone. We're just building a smattering. I mean, okay, we're losing out on some free construction, but whatever, man. We'll then use railroads, which I like efficiency of a little bit more. I actually wish we left it on 4 or 5, but this is fine. Industrialists are having some trouble. We would love to pick up another 200 authority somewhere to do more authority things. Workers of the world untie. So I don't think... Ooh, I do actually think we need to care about the Industrialists' approval rating, because I think that they are just at 10, so unpatriotic thing will fade. Trying to get as many... We're trying to get all... We're trying to collect the everything for active interest group traits. Gotta catch them all. Yeah, we should be enforcing on them soon there. Let's take a look at our market. Electricity's finally not a shortage anymore. Thank you so much. It's probably on the back. Yeah, it's on the back of this slowly employing. Why can't you employ? They're not willing to work. Tragic. Okay. You are pretty profitable here. And then I think, yeah, we're just building up to max level here. Get the max throughput bonus. Actually, do we want a railroad there? Let's do a railroad. I think we're gonna be able to turn on a lot of ports once things change. Could use maybe another one of these. Are running a little bit of a bureaucracy problem. We'll do that. We'll double check. We have battalions in reserve. Let's see if we can recruit a general from an interest group that we like. The petite bourgeoisie will do it. I do really want to suppress the trade unionists. Opening the Siamese market is also just generally something we would be a fan of, so... let's do some of that as well. And now, let's take a look at what we are currently. In terms of infamy, we have very little. We could go to war with the Ottomans. Don't think that's going to be a very efficient war. I think, like, Bulligan would be much more efficient. And also just kind of, in terms of map painting, be very nice. So let's look at their diplomacy. They aren't allies with anyone. We can conquer Bulligan pretty cheap on the infamy scale. Our infamy should be even lower after this war. And then we can just mobilize. We do want to make the petite bourgeoisie stronger, so we will promote him even though... oh, do we not have a border with them? That's unfortunate. Alright, we will still have that guy come up. It looks like the petite bourgeoisie are not very happy with us. They're just neutral. We do really want to switch to elected bureaucrats here. But the problem is we can't find a way to put the petite bourgeoisie in government. The trade unionists have to be in, and the discord between these two groups is too high. We even have wealth voting. I guess what we do is we try and depress the wages. We need to get wages down a little bit. And we are trying specifically to get the wages down of the groups that are feeding into the trade unions so they don't have the wealth to vote. Bulligan just backs down. Cool. It's just part of East Borneo. Nice. God, this disgusts me so much. So gratuitous. I mean, I guess we could delete some of these. It's not too much infrastructure, but we are just feeding free convoys to Russia. Maybe we can do a 5-head play and take Beijing for the Forbidden City, which gives plus 50 authority and legitimacy from including the head of state and government. And we would probably incorporate it, and then it would be adjacent to Great Qing, so we could trade with them more easily. Yeah, we have good relations with them, but right now it'll be tough. I think it's also tough for us to go into Argentina, which was another plan, another idea. Venezuela was a third one. I thought that we put an interest in there. Did we not? Why can't we declare war on them? You must have an overlord that we cannot declare on. They are protectorate of Spain. Is France ultimately the overlord here? I mean, they're in the French market. France is doing pretty hot too. We are barely skin of our teeth legitimate. Trying to depress these a bit. We have to get them less votes next vote. The social security thing is not doing as much as I would like it to. Let's expand this some more. I want to make this subsistence farms not very profitable. So I guess we want to try and import timber as well if we can. Or build wood ourselves. I don't know if Russia's managing, like, encouraging exports on timber, which is making it difficult for us to do that, but we'll just fully expand the industries. We'll also expand that all the way. Hopefully that'll give us enough rubber to turn on freaking the clothing thing we've been wanting to turn on for forever. This. Elastics. It only loses 18k, actually. So you could probably run this, and this is going to give us more luxury clothes. And then we could turn back on auto-expand, I think. We'll turn on auto-expand again in there. And I guess next up is trying to max out some of these other ones. Really kind of keen on getting electric railways. That'll be a big game. We are getting close. Electrical capacitors is also a really big tech. You get electric sewing machines and automatic power looms, and then brine and out electrolysis. All these are pretty good. And it was immediately on the way to electric railways. Unfortunately, this entire time our industrialists haven't been both super happy and giving investment contribution. In fact, they're losing money right now, I think. We're trying to bolster them up, though. So we switched to a contested government, so we will lower the taxes. Oh, you know what we could tax? We could tax grain. Because we're trying to make the common people a little bit more poor, right? I guess taxing liquor is better than luxuries goods for that explicit purpose. It's consumed more by the poorer pops. It feeds us a lot less money, but really can't wait until you can Q-Tex. That's going to be fantastic. We're going to go electric rails. And we get to turn on all the fancy PMs, which are pretty big ones. These are not the fancy PMs of which I speak, but I guess I'll do a quick run through of these. It's so wild to me that I somehow didn't notice that you get... Oh, okay, we'll turn that on. That I somehow didn't notice that you get the throughput bonus on economies of scale for rural stuff. Switch to a brine. More boom booms, more of the time. This is going to make labor cheaper. It will provoke another electricity shortage, but I think that it... I think you guys can employ out of it. I believe in you. We'll increase that for more economies of scale throughput bonus, and might be time to turn on these ports. Oh, they are turned on. And then we'll expand that and a rail. Hemorrhaging quite a bit of money, but this is okay. This is the game plan. It's always been the plan. Hot damn, more rubber. Oh, and we get oil here too. Hell yeah, brother. So good. I go for this like area almost every time, every game. Alright. We can go after Brunei, I guess. We could puppet them. Oh, they only have one state? Well, then we would want to conquer it. We would have to fight the Dutch East Indies, but we believe Russia sides with the enemy. I don't think we want to fight a war with Russia. Who's Russia not like? Because we can always declare war on that person. Prussia? I mean, we could go after some Prussian state or something, I guess. Ooh, holy Great Britain. I mean, just in terms of having nice borders, I think we go for this. Even though this is not prime real estate, you just have the 6 logging camps. It's actually, no, it's just too bad. It's like a province. I think it has to be Iraq that we go for. Or part of Egypt. This place would be nice. So would just taking Sinai. Right, for the eventual... I think I like taking Sinai. Let's see. Oh, we don't have an interest in the region. Let's do that, and then... I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Sinai would be better for us to go after. Because then we can build the Sinai Canal. Which will be nice when we want to, like, trade around here. Standard living is going up. It's wild, but I'm tempted to tax grain. See, the thing is, our lower rung pops are now starting to get a good amount of money. Why don't we stop bolstering these guys, and we're going to put in a consumption tax on services, which is the primary consumption of this lower rung pop. And we could also tax... Oh, it looks like luxury furniture they are spending a lot on as well. So why don't we switch off of this and onto luxury furniture, which makes more money anyways. And this generates us more revenue, but hopefully it takes away from the political power. Alternatively, we could try and crank this up. They're consuming services as well, and luxury furniture. Also transportation. Oh, Italy joins against us. US might join on our side. I think maybe we can... Oh, how strong is Egypt, though? Just by themselves. Probably not very. We got 207. make sure we don't have... Oops, Sakhalin's got problems. Let's do a quick run through of everything. Auto building is doing work. We will eventually need more there. We'll need more there. We will need more there. A little Kurdish uprising action. Rubber rush. Effective. Police brutality. Can't tolerate, but we just come back in and increase it anyways. We could afford a little bit more stuff. Why don't we go increase health system? And what else can we take from Egypt? Why don't we see who we can get to join? Be more than happy just to have a back down quick little war. Offer humiliation's pretty free for us on Italy. And then maybe take war reps from Italy for ourselves. We'll wait and see how France responds here. But more than happy to just have Egypt back down and quickly give us what we want. They are minus 62 fearful. So they probably just back down. Let's also... We don't want to accrue any infamy with what else we're getting, so we can just liberate countries if we wanted to. And this is kind of be how we do it. I don't think... I mean, we could liberate Syria. That would make it more bite-sized for us to puppet Syria ourselves. But I think we just war rep them both. And then I guess liberate Syria. Because we don't have an interest in Italy, so we can't liberate on Italy. And we can puppet Syria later, maybe. Don't expect this war to pop off, but we're just putting in all the things in case it does, because they are minus 67, so shouldn't go the distance. Economy's growing, standard of living's growing, pop's growing. We would rather the trade unions not be so strong, man. They have double the clout we want. We might actually just have to pull them out of government. What is the most acceptable government we can make without them? This is almost legitimate. We are going to have to try and, next voting cycle, really take the events that disempower them. Even if we otherwise don't necessarily like them too much. Really would like to make you guys a little bit happier. But we are gaining loyalists from the trade unionists being so strong now, so that's kind of nice. How do we make the free trade party stronger? The essential question here. I don't know. Whoa. My kingdom for some more electricity, though. We're just gonna take this up to 55. Or 51. Max throughput bonus. Really try and tackle this energy problem. That should solve the rubber demand. But you are still running a shortage. Ooh. This is actually causing quite a bit of pain. Yeah, the rubber's cheap now. And the war pops off, so glad we put all the things we wanted in there. Oh, we have this guy, able invade on Lower Egypt with this, the bigger of the two guys. I think all of our generals do, yeah. And we are dealing with the Hokkaido thing. Okay. Somehow we're making money, which isn't what we want. But we don't want to decrease taxes. So I guess we can up construction. When in doubt, up construction a bit. It's going to stimulate the economy a bit. I suppose we could... Political strength in Armenia. So much of it is trade unions. Because they're competing for wages. We need to somehow really jack up our population really large. Migration controls is not it, though. We want to be xenophobic, but not like that. We could lower taxes also 2 notches if we really wanted to get super legitimate government. We are really just kind of waiting on the next election, though. Yeah, because it's just so illegitimate when we try and do this. We just get a minus 102 from the ideology penalty, because this is the this is the epitome of anti-trade unionists, so we just can't have this like this block in together, and so we just have to try and bolster the industrialists out of this. Even though the Liberal Party is like starting to dip below the clout we want. I mean, this might just be a failed experiment here. We'll just bolster here. Yeah, really wish we could suppress them while they're in Gov, but we can't. This is an interesting conundrum, though, that I haven't encountered before, because generally speaking, I think the trade unionist is the strongest interest group, so we just, like, don't worry about ever weakening the trade unions, because we want them to be strong and happy, but now we don't. So, we want the industrialists to be powerful. Maybe you have to die, because you're a bandit. This also explains a lot, and then you have... You're loved. I think this is a big part of it as well. Yeah. Really would love to go... Who supports outlaw? Maybe we put in the military. Which, of course, knocks us down a peg. This is fine, though. And then once with the military in, then we try and outlaw dissent. And this... Okay, this is a little bit of a Hail Mary here, but... Actually, probably pisses off a lot of people enough that it's a bit of a problem. Like, the industrialists are only happy. The trade unionists... Well, the trade unionists are still loyal. French defensive pact sounds like a good one. We will take that. Okay, we're clapping Egypt here. So motors, we will need a lot more motors. So, why don't we expand it over here by a lot. The first election. Armenia is holding its first Election, since the voting franchise was extended to women, making the world's beginning a new era in Armenian democracy. Very nice. So we will actually give trade unions feminist ideology. We want that, I think. Because that'll make them happier that we have that type of thing. And now we are... What is this? Why do we have such a righteous government? Because the election's currently popping off? Well... but we can't confirm this because we need to make this radical party block. But we could do this. Okay. This might allow us to try and sneak in. Oh, the leader died. We got gore. For now. Wait. Oh! Just swaps the guy if we do that. Why is that? New ruler. Why does it just let us swap the ruler? I don't understand. Oh, I mean, this is what we want to do because we want to get through some of these reforms. So we're going to do this. And then we are going to suppress. Or we want to bolster these here. We want to suppress you. Do we have a consumption tax we can get rid of? We do. Because this guy doesn't give us as much authority, which is unfortunate, but then we will bolster these guys. And hopefully in this next 170 days before the election, we can try and get outlawed dissent through. If we get a bad tick of it, we will switch to probably trying to do elected bureaucrats or racial segregation. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Man, when we take territory, I really hate the way our map painting looks. It's just this weird gray color. Or it's just like a nothing color. It's a nothing shade on top of everything that's like light green. It really doesn't look like much. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it an episode here. I think the story of this episode is perhaps us just taking a lot of East Borneo. East Borneo is one of like kind of the best places to take. Because it's full of countries that are just really, really easy to go after. It gives a ton of oil and rubber, and it also gives coal and logging. Just a ton of resources that you're interested in. We also... This is an interesting development where we could swap out, for some reason, the armed... Maybe just anytime you put the armed forces in government, it, like, lets you swap the leader, but it let us swap the leader. Which is allowing us to get the trade unionists out of government. We've been trying to suppress them for a while, and so also just trying to fight down the trade unionists, because we want to get them to around 18% clout. We want to do this perfectly balanced, as all things should be thing, where we have, you know, 18% on everything, and then over 5% on armed forces, so they're not marginalized, and then that way we get max bonuses. So this is what we're working towards. Anyways, hope you enjoy it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, you know, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day. Oh, also, if you've been sitting a while, I like to try and remember this one. If you've been sitting a while, getting up, stretching, moving your legs, taking a walk, even if it's only like 5 minutes, markedly improves your health and mood. It's very easy to just like sit and watch YouTube for forever, but I encourage you to maybe move around a little. Anyways, have a good one.